Well, Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling and Ricky Gervais have proved that if you stand up to the woke, eventually you win. J.K. Rowling's book sales went from $7 million to $11.9 million worth last year.
J.K. Rowling, the legendary creator of the Harry Potter universe, has done more than just create a cultural phenomenon. She's become a lightning rod for one of the most controversial battles of our time. Standing up against woke culture, she's faced a whirlwind of backlash, lawsuits, and celebrity betrayal. Yet she's emerged stronger, even more defiant. How did she manage to hold her ground, and what exactly did she fight for? Buckle up, because this story is as spellbinding as one of her books. First, let's dive into how this cultural showdown began. Back in 2020, Rowling made headlines when she criticized Scotland's controversial hate crime laws. These laws extended protections to trans-identifying people, but Rowling argued they disregarded the safety of biological women. Her tweet wasn't just a casual critique, it was a wake-up call that ignited a firestorm on social media. Activists labeled her transphobic, and accusations flew left and right. But did she back down? Absolutely not. Rowling went on to call out Scotland's First Minister, Humza Yousaf, for prioritizing woke policies that she believed threatened women's rights.
The beginning of the end for Humza Yousaf started when J.K. Rowling condemned Scotland's newly imposed hate crime laws, which extended to trans-identifying people but ignored biological women.
Twitter exploded, yet Rowling remained fearless. She argued that the hate crime laws could be weaponized to silence women standing up for their safety and dignity. And she was right. Cases began to surface where these laws were used to suppress genuine concerns about women's spaces. Rowling's point was clear. This wasn't just a theoretical debate, it was a fight for fairness and safety. Then things got wilder. Enter the bizarre lawsuit involving boxer Imane Kaif during the 2024 Paris Olympics.
أنا نوجه رسالتي لكامل شعوب العالم أنهم يكونوا متمسكين بالمبادئ الأولمبية حسب الميثاق الأولمبي وابتعاد عن التنمر على جميع الرياضيين لأنه هذا الشيء أثر ويأثر.
The controversy? Kaif's gender eligibility. When accusations of cyberbullying started flying, Rowling, Elon Musk, and even Donald Trump were pulled into the chaos. Kaif accused them of fueling online harassment. Social media lit up with claims that Rowling was running scared and deleting tweets. But Rowling wasn't about to play defense. When she returned to the spotlight, she came back swinging. In a now infamous post, she declared she'd rather go to jail than be forced into compelled speech, denying biological realities. But Rowling's clash with Hollywood may be the most dramatic chapter of all. The very stars who owe their careers to her, Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Eddie Redmayne, turned against her. Radcliffe issued public apologies, declaring trans women are women, and distancing himself from Rowling. Watson posted on social media saying, trans people are who they say they are, and voiced unconditional support for the trans community. Even Redmayne, who once played a transgender character in The Danish Girl, criticized Rowling's views.
He was so upset that Rowling was facing criticism for her anti-transgender tweets and her 3,700-word rambling diatribe against transgender people.
Rowling's response? She didn't hold back. She accused her former stars of promoting an agenda that, in her view, undermined women's hard-won rights. She wasn't just defending herself. She was defending a cause she deeply believed in. This wasn't about erasing anyone's identity, but about safeguarding women's rights from what she saw as a dangerous erosion. And if you thought that was the end, think again. Activists once went as far as calling the police on Rowling, accusing her of committing a hate crime for misgendering someone on Twitter. They actually wanted her arrested. The author, who gave us the magical world of Hogwarts, was facing potential jail time for standing up for her beliefs. But instead of feeling intimidated, Rowling dared the authorities to come for her, making it clear she wouldn't be silenced. One of her biggest wins came when the medical community began to validate some of her concerns. Rowling had long argued against rushing young people into gender transition, warning of the risks of puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones. Critics accused her of fear-mongering, but the UK's National Health Service eventually pulled back on these treatments for minors. Suddenly, Rowling's once dismissed concerns seemed prophetic. Cases emerged where young adults who had transitioned as minors expressed regret, even filing lawsuits against the NHS. It was a moment of vindication for Rowling, highlighting that her battle was never about hate, but about protecting kids and advocating for women. Despite facing lawsuits, online mobs, and police investigations, Rowling remains unshaken. Her story isn't just about standing up to woke culture. It's about resilience, freedom of speech, and the courage to defend one's beliefs. So, what's your take on J.K. Rowling's fight against woke culture? Was she right to speak out, or do you think the backlash was justified? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for more deep dives into today's hottest cultural debates. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the real world is just as full of twists and turns as a Harry Potter novel.